want to transition to Jay Smiley, like J Balvin. But like, I feel like one of my obvious characteristics is my smile, because I'm always smiling. I just enjoy it. Like, why wouldn't you smile all the time? So yeah, it's gonna go from Bad Bunny 2.0 to when I start making music, or some other endeavor is gonna be Jay Smiley, like that. So I'm gonna do this all while I'm at this is my dad's house, by the way. Just while I'm here, because it's quiet. My mom's house is more noisy, more stuff going on always. I don't want to deal with that, bro. So I move here for more peace and quiet, to make these videos, you know, to find myself, for perspective. That's what I do most of these days now. It's for perspective, just so you can see a different, like, see the same thing but from a different angle, you know. Then you start to learn and you start to see what you actually want, like, especially at our age. Like, so I'll tell you a story. I went to the beach, right? I was gonna go to the beach for my 18th birthday with a girl. And she was 17, right? It's like me, I can go because I was 18 that day. I wanted to go on my birthday, for my birthday. So I could go because I'm 18. And I wanted to bring her with me, you know, to have a good time. And I was so looking forward to it. I was like, wow, be able to spend 2 days with this girl at the beach, that would be amazing. But then, like, because she was 17 and couldn't make her own decisions, you know, it ended up not happening. And she would have told me, you know, I was gonna try to sneak her out or whatever, but it didn't work, you know. Her dad said no, her dad said no, her dad said no, but, you know. So yeah, I was really sad. I cried, bro. I was like, damn. And I spent money. I spent like $700 for like the hotel and, like, you know, gas and everything. And I was like, damn, that really sucks. Like, but you know, you never know. You don't know what God's plan is for you. So then I still went to the beach because I paid like the $700, and that's like a whole month's worth of work. I was gonna spend it in 2 days, so I had to go. And I wanted to. You know, and I don't care for the beach. I just wanted to go to be with a girl, you know. That's the only reason why I wanted to go to the beach, for real. So that didn't happen. And I was just driving, you know, listening to music. I was still kind of sad, but I was listening to music. And happy music, because, well, sad music at first. Then I realized, like, fuck, I'm really sad, because I'm just listening to sad music. So then I put on like some Bob Marley, something like, don't wait, be happy, and shit like that. And then it was fun, bro. Like, you know, had a good time. I was thinking a lot like, this had to happen for a reason or something. And then I went and started listening, you know. I was still texting this girl, like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm not with her no more, so it doesn't, you know, it's whatever. You learn that if you work on yourself, the time you spend improving yourself is better spent than you chasing the girl. Because, like, if you're chasing the girls you can get right now as a skinny, ugly 13 to 17-year-old are like 5, 6, and 7s, okay? Let's say, not even, like, the girls you would want are like 3s to 6s, okay? If you don't work on yourself at all, and like, you're like average, like average height, average looks, average. If you're average, you're gonna get average girls, okay? And the girls always want guys better than them. So if you are a 3, you're only gonna get a 2 or a 3 girl, okay? So you got no business looking for a girlfriend, in my opinion. So let's say you're a 2 or 3, you can only get a 2 or a 3. But if you like improve yourself a little bit, for a year, let's say, you go up to like a 4. 13 to 14, you go to a 4. Now you can get 3 or 4s. Another year, it's not linear, you know. Some things will change like that, like quick. Like, I feel like my earrings, they're like in They're trendy. They're trendy, yeah. But I just like it. Like my eyebrow slits, got them on both eyes. I gotta redo them today. But yeah, or like, you know, just dressing different. Like these aren't prescription, bro. These are just for fun, bro. I like them. They got like a little Jaguar and shit. I like them. They were $12 off Amazon, bro. You don't gotta pay a lot of money to look alright, you know. This hat my cousin gave me. This is a tank top from Amazon. Like $1, you know. Looking good doesn't have to be expensive, you know, or alright. So, yeah, and then, like what I did without realizing it was baseball kept me focused on a goal. So now my brain is programmed, no matter what it is, to just give it my all. But once it gets like, I see the end is near, I do give up. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Is this really what I want? And sometimes it's not, and that's valuable. Like knowing what it is you're gonna put your time into, and if that's what you really want to do, or if you're trying to live somebody else's life, like baseball. I never wanted to play baseball, bro. It was only just to make my dad happy, my dad proud. But that's not my thing. You know, I gave it my all for 4 years. It was 4 years, 13 to 17. I gave it my all, man. I tried again, like I graduated this year. I tried again this year, but I was like, no, bro, this is not for me. And I hurt my arm. You know, you don't know, like I said, you don't know what God has planned for you. I hurt my arm and now I can't play no more. I don't think it's a coincidence, bro. Like nothing was gonna happen anyways, but all I did was hurt my arm. I believe it's so I didn't go back. Like I physically can't go back no more. I can't even like bench normally no more, but I'll survive. So I feel like that happened so I can do something with my brain. Cause while, you know, I'm so ass at baseball, I got a 4.54 GPA. And I'm not saying your GPA is I'm not saying if you have a low GPA, doesn't mean you're dumb. But if you have a high GPA, that's a pretty good indicator for how smart you are, I believe. And how hard you work. Because you don't just do it like, you know, you don't just get that GPA like just fucking around. So, but I like it because I don't look smart. But I know I am smart. So it's that what makes me confident, okay? I look a certain type of way, but I'm another type of way. And that makes me happy and comfortable in my own skin. So yeah, so I went from like I said, like a 3. You know, I said acne. Right now my skin pretty clear. I got a few bumps, whatever, from working, but changing tires and shit. From like a 3, 13 to 17, I worked on myself, and I said like, once my hair grows back or I get a haircut again. Once my hair grows back, I'm gonna just cut it until it grows back out again. I had nice hair, bro. And I dyed it too. One time I had golden hair. I had golden curly, like orange. It was like orange gold. Like, it was crazy. It grew on me though. Then I cut it once it started looking good. I cut it real short, and then I cut it again. And I was like, whatever. Or I dyed it again, like then I dyed it like maroon. The lady doesn't know it was my girl. She just dyed it like a maroon color, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I went to a lady that like knew what she was doing with color on my hair. She'd been doing it for like 15 years, and she got me really nice with the highlights. I love those highlights. You know, eventually I want to get like Jaguar, like little Jaguar like things. If my life goes that way, you know, bleach it, little Jaguar things that the hairstyles they do, and do it like that, or grow my hair out again, you know. But I feel like I had to cut my hair short. I liked it when it was like a 1. Now it's like growing out, and it's like, but I feel like once I get a haircut again, we'll be good, you know. And I'm probably not gonna have it forever because my daddy's bald, so just enjoy while I have it, you know. If I kill it, then I can just go to Ukraine. You know, don't ever be scared. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I believe I went from like a 3 to like an 8. just build them physically, mentally, you know, spiritually. Still gotta work on that. You know, all that. I went to like a 3 to like an 8 or 9. With my hair, I know I'll be a 9. And then I'm gonna get tattoos on my back and on my ribs. I'm gonna get my mom and sisters like a little like national, because I'm Colombian and Dominican. I'm gonna get that on my chest, you know. And stuff like that, you know. Just little things that meaningful to you, that give you confidence. That's all that matters. If you have confidence, and nobody can tell you anything. Nobody can tell you anything, because you gotta be your own cheerleader, okay? Nobody else. No, you can have cheerleaders. That's amazing, but don't be nobody else's cheerleader. You gotta advocate for yourself, and not let yourself get pushed over by those people that will take advantage. There's people, I know people like that in my life that will take advantage of you, and will see a person with so much potential like yourself, and so much like a gift, you know. Will see you with a gift and try to take that from you and take it for themselves and use it to their advantage, you know. Don't let them do that, you know. What I like to do is, like, if I hear like a self-doubt in my mind, like an insecurity, I'm like, who told me that? Why am I thinking this way? Because it's not from yourself. If you were on this world by yourself, I don't feel like you would be insecure, because you wouldn't have anybody you wouldn't compare yourself to anybody. It would just be you, and you'd just be chilling, you know. You wouldn't feel the need to do anything. You wouldn't feel bad. You wouldn't feel good. You just feel not like that. But with all these people in your life, you know, they make you, if you let them, they let you feel like this. You know, if people tell you look really good, really good, really good, then you cut your hair and they say you look ugly, then if you let yourself, don't let yourself, you know, do what you want to do. Don't follow nobody else's dream. They already lived their life. They have it doesn't matter if it's your dad, your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, your brother, your aunt, your uncle. It doesn't matter. Your best friend, your worst enemy, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your gay cousin. I don't care who you are. You lived your life, and I don't want to live your life, you know. Especially if I don't like where you are right now. Why would I take advice from you? You know, like you lived your life, you know. You are where you are. If you're not happy with that, that has nothing to do with me. You know, you had your chance. You were 18. You were whatever. Now it's my chance to live my life and be who I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be happy doing what you want to do, because doing what you wanted to do, you ended up where you are right now. And I don't want to be where you're right now, so I'm not gonna do what you want me to do and end up where you are right now. You know, if I'm gonna fail, it's gonna be by my own account and by my own stupidity or naivety or whatever, and I'll learn and I'll get better. I know personally, I will not let myself crumble and fall and, you know, be 400 pounds like some people, or, you know, kill myself. But I see how, like, if you don't love yourself, then yeah, you know, that happens a lot these days. People just don't love themselves. That's why people do stuff like that, you know, and it's sad, but I don't want to get to that point. So I'm not gonna let myself get there. And if they do, you know, things will happen. God will help you out at the end of the day. Just live your life, you know.